Hi, I'm Jim Preston. In our previous video, Leg 1 of the South Sierra Traverse, we explored the Kaiser Pass area, Mono Hot Springs, Lakes Florence and Edison, and the South Fork of the San Joaquin River. So let's continue our journey. The second leg of this trip starts here at beautiful Shaver Lake. It's down the mountain from Huntington Lake, and certainly where we are before Vermilion Valley Resort and Lake Edison and so forth. Beautiful area. It's as you can see, people can just play here in the water. There's nice little beaches everywhere. That's typical of Sierra lakes. Whether this is a reservoir, but the natural lakes are pretty much the same. Very nice. And I think what I want to do next is lunch. And I see a place in little town of Shaver Lake Village that looks like it might be interesting. So I'm going to go explore there. The Shaver Lake is just a summer resort type town. So somewhere here we make a left. And that's not quite clear. 250 feet. We're going to have to get some gas, and this is a scary thing. Okay, so I guess that's a road over here, a street. Yeah, look at the prices. So I got the regular. I like it. All right. Yeah. Okay. What happens next? I don't know. But I've kind of traced out something on Gaia. And we'll see. So far, it looks like a small Sierra town, but that's probably going to end out here somewhere. Okay, we're getting some wildflowers. There's been some dogwood and some California lilac. Meadows are green. Meadows everywhere. I think we're on top of a ridge. Well, just explored Dinky Creek Campground, and it's nice, big, and hardly anybody there. So I'm going to get back on my track and cruise along here. I guess this is going to be Dinky Creek. The campground isn't located anywhere near the creek, but the creek's pretty cool, really cool. Let me just kind of show you out the side here. It's a nice swimming hole, eh? Ahead, Sequoia giganteas. I better tip this camera back because they're gigantea, which means they're big. So let's pull into this interpretive area they've got here. And there's no way I'm going to catch this well on a camera. It's the size of these sequoias is mind-boggling. Let's see, how can I explain how big these are? Maybe I'll turn the camera around and do a selfie against it. I think, you know, without Katya here, that's what I'm going to have to do. But also, they're everywhere. Wow, back over there is a biggie. Here's two really biggies going up into the sun there. So I'll flip the camera and then something like this, huh? So here's three of them together, and you could probably put 20 people around the stump here of this one in front. But they are just so awesome. And look at that guy back in there. He's huge. And here's one with some dogwood in front of it. Now, Sequoia giganteas are big around, but they're not as tall as the sempervinas on the coast. See, they got big, thick trunks, but they don't go to the height 300 feet or so, 100 meters of the coastal ones. Okay, so some of the YouTubers show their feet walking, like when they're walking down somewhere. I think it's kind of dumb, but anyway. Let's, you want to see what I'm seeing as opposed to looking at my Merrill shoes. So you notice this kind of, I guess, orangish look to the creek. That's because this is full of tannin. Not full of tannin, full of water, but it has quite a bit of tannin in it. So, do you see any trout? I'm looking. But isn't it beautiful? You could just go for a swim there so easy. If you wanted to freeze your ass off. Here goes some trout. High speed. They're small. I don't see any lunkers, but I wouldn't expect them here. It's close to the campground. Anyway, it's a beautiful little creek. Okay, we are here. But look at these campgrounds over here. And this road back into here. And there's a lake or reservoir here. It says reservoir, okay. But it's down in this canyon. That looks like it could be pretty cool. Let's go explore it. Well, the lake's not full of water, but it's reasonably good condition. Well, what do you think of this campsite? Oh, this is just the toilet. Notice they put bulletin boards for like everything you can imagine up here. But back over there is a little concrete wall that's part of the dam. And these rocks are part of the dam. And here's site 8 that goes back up in here somewhere to, let's go find out. Big reveal on site 8. By the way, they're warning about rattlesnakes. Doesn't bother me. Grew up with them. We get along fine. So site 8 up here is pretty cool. And look at that view from the picnic table. Well, camp table. So if the water's a little higher, it probably gets up in here. But since I spend most of the time in the van and not at the camp table without Katya, I get the wrong campsite, I guess. Probably should have got this one. Spent more time up here at the table. Beautiful. But the spot I've got is pretty cool also. So let's go take a look at that. And now for Camp 9, the big reveal. Hey, that ain't so bad. Good morning, Overlanders. Wow, this lily pad campground is really cool. There was nobody here last night. It was like dispersed camping with the convenience of a toilet and water. And it's gorgeous with all these rocks, chipmunks, lizards, and really some amazing scenery up here. So, yeah, it's a reservoir, which normally I don't really care for reservoirs. But the reservoirs in the Sierras are quite often beautiful, and the water's pretty clean, and there's sandy beaches. Pretty nice. So what do we have planned for today? Well, one is there's some smoke in the atmosphere, so big shots, big scenes, not so good. I think that smoke's supposed to be from Canada. I don't think there's a wildfire in the Sierras at this point. I'm going to take you down to Kings Canyon. So this is down the canyon from Kings Canyon National Park. But Kings Canyon is a big canyon, and we're going to take a narrow little twisty road down in there, as I recall. But some of these roads that were just dirt Forest Service roads long ago when I explored here are now paved, so that the people who go fishing at these reservoirs can get there with their boats and all that. So I don't know what we're going to encounter today. I don't even know how far we're going to go. So let's just, find out. Okay, we're dropping into down closer to the North Fork of the Kings River. So this isn't the real Kings Canyon yet, other than it's the North Fork of the Kings River Canyon, I guess. It is really an amazing drive. Let me share this with you. The glaciated granite in the distance, waterfalls. And this is the boonies. I mean, I haven't seen any cars on this road at all, any vehicles. So it's not quite a shelf road. It's pretty wide. It's got a berm. Okay, we're looking back up towards where we camped last night, but up on that shelf in the distance. Wow, this is just awesome. Can't wait to take Katya down this. Okay, there's some envelopes maybe. All the usual warning signs. $15 to stay here. And where is it? To the right, to the left. Let's go to the right and see what happens. Somebody's camped here. And they have fishing nets. So, Bulch Hydroelectric, owned and operated by PG&E, under the FERC, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. I actually did some work for them when I was a CPA a long time ago. It's on the Alaska pipelines. Why don't we go take a look? Okay, I'm walking. Do you guys want me to show my feet when I'm walking? Nah. I don't know why some of the other YouTubers do that. It's like really not my thing. Okay, so this explains the project. And it connects with Wishon Reservoir, where we stayed last night. And anyway, if you look, there's this huge network of powerhouses and lakes. So here's we stayed last night. Now we're down here someplace, getting down closer to the Kings River. The generators, and they're all through the area. And then eventually you get power down to the cities. And that's the reservoir. Looks like a good place to fish. So we're down at about 4,000 feet elevation now. This area gets pretty hot in the summertime. But, hey, that's a cute little reservoir. Terrain is, you know, just above the Sierra foothills area. We're kind of the Sierra foothills. Lots of granite. Really beautiful up here. So we're back on pavement. Now we're getting kind of shelf roady. Love it. Unless you meet somebody trying to haul a big fifth wheel up here. And this is an altitude where a van could easily camp in the wintertime. 4,000 feet. Probably not going to be snow. Maybe some traces once in a while.
Country lanes and coastal plains, endless views that we're passing through, making our way to a distant place, just us two, somewhere new. We watch the sky fade into the night. With you, my arms, nothing can go wrong. We'll fall asleep on a star.
Wow, this canyon on our left is massively deep. There's probably huge trout down there because getting down to there would be, you're just not going to do it. It's very thick brush, poison oak, rattlesnakes, probably ticks. Look at that terrain. Whoa. And it's getting hot. It's 88 degrees. If we're up at Shaver Lake, it would probably be like 72 degrees. Down, down, down through switchbacks. This is a shelf road. It is straight down, maybe 1,000, 1,500 feet. So we're going to be extra slow and careful here. This is what I came for. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Who says California is all freeway? Okay, I've got to shoot down and show you guys what is pretty much straight down. Let's go do that. Okay, we're looking pretty much straight down at the North Fork of the Kings, and you can see the tower construction roads over there, and you can see the penstocks coming down to a powerhouse way up there. But look how big, huh? Just big and down. There's a level right now. This is what I vaguely remember from decades ago. I think it was dirt then. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Hopefully no rock decides to come down. That did happen to a guy with a transit van in Southern California. I think it was Highway 18, San Bernardino Mountains. He had worked all his life, retired, invested in a nicely built out travel van, and as he was starting his new life as a retiree, it came crashing down on top of the cab. A big boulder, like in a similar situation to this, crashed down on top of the cab. When the police and fire got there, they thought they were for sure they were looking at a fatality, but the guy was actually okay. He just had to get out of his van and start over again. Okay, we're coming down into very PG&E dominated country down here. Work centers, all that for the reservoir system. Here's some, looks like employee housing. It's 91 degrees. I do love this terrain, by the way. It's something like my native terrain. So these people work in a very remote place. I mean, there's no easy escape to a city, to a Walmart. It has to be a long planned drive. Okay. Ooh, that river looks good. Very good. Let's go down there. Let's take a little walk. Just wow. And that water be very cold right now. So this is Dinky Creek. We went and explored the Dinky Creek campground way up there at like 7,000 feet, far, far from here. And it's come back around. So here's where Dinky Creek goes into the North Fork of the Kings. But not much of a creek, huh? This time of the year, it's a river. Okay, we're walking down here to the confluence of Dinky Creek and the North Fork of the Kings. So I would love to go for a swim. But since it's very cold, the water is, and I'm alone, and the current's very swift right now, I think I'll probably be a little more conservative than I prefer and not do that. But look at that swimming hole in the distance. Let's put this guy up here in the air a ways.
Just us two, somewhere new, somewhere new. Just us two, I'll follow you to somewhere new, somewhere new.
Okay, I told you I would take you to the Kings River, and this is it. Olch Camp. Wow. Kings River Hiking Trail, 8. Nice. Okay, so we're going to cross over the Kings. And then I'm going to figure out what to do next. Just pull over here in the shade of this massive little oak tree. So the paved road goes down the river to somewhere, timber or something. But we're going to go up this way and then climb out of this canyon on, I think, a road they took long ago. Really? Cattle ranching back here? It's steep. The sides of the canyon are gnarly. Historic Camp 4.5 guard station. That's a Forest Service rental cabin. Okay, so if you really want to be in the boondocks and rent a cabin, but have great access to the river, it's there. Let's explore Camp 4 campground. This is a bit tight for the van. I have to back up a little. Not right into the gate here. Well, if you want an ideal campground at 94 degrees, this certainly is one of them. I don't see anything that says where they charge you for it, so it looks like it's semi-dispersed. And there are maybe 3 sites. Yeah, there's 3 sites and there's the river. There's a toilet, no water. Oh, there's 4 sites here. Well, let's just pull ahead in the shade here a bit. And there's the river running pretty much through camp. Way cool, eh? Okay, I showed you Camp 4. Wow, look at this. This is big. And camps are right on the river here. Oh, there's a few rocks in between the river and the camp, but still. Unfortunately, it hasn't cooled down, but the only sites you'd really want this time of the year are in the shade. And you've got that river. Notice we're not in the granite anymore. That's metamorphic rock. So gold country style terrain here. Well, I haven't seen any evidence of mining. It's probably around. How's this for a drive along the river? Okay, there's another campground. Well, this place is rich. So it's only 12:30, and I really don't feel like camping in these conditions. But this looks free also. A couple of camps here, and there's shade. Yeah, I like it. Okay, we come out of this campground. Pretty tight left turn here. So let's do a little point to point, huh? Just like the old days and crazy roads. Okay. We are going up this side canyon to the Kings. Now, this is where I think I was long ago. And it will take us back up to the Pines. Do I have any gas? Oh yeah, I've got over 3/4 of a tank of gas. Good call. Very nice little stream down here to the left. Very cute. Yes, streams can be cute. Okay, is this a remote enough road for you guys? It's pretty much single lane, and there hasn't really been much in the way of places to pull out of the way of somebody coming. And I want to put the drone up, but in a wide spot, but there was cow shit everywhere. What I really didn't want is my drone to be flying around in cow shit. Okay, well, we've pulled away from that creek. There was a little private property back there. Place was for sale. Very faded sign. Seems nobody wants really remote places anymore. Anyway, we're climbing up a ridge. So this is the terrain, this kind of terrain I was born and raised in. Same trees, brush, everything, just east side of the Santa Cruz Mountains instead of the west side of the Sierras. But big country. If you want big and remote, tough to beat this area. We came down through those granite cliffs earlier today, down the bottom of that canyon, up this canyon to my right, and we've been climbing for about an hour out of the Kings River Canyon. We're a long ways up now. We're at 3,000 foot elevation. I think at the bottom we're probably close to 1,000 feet. And climbing and climbing and climbing. It's still 94 degrees. And this isn't very quick. You're just futzing along pretty slow. The transit engine's remaining quite cool. The intercooler is doing its job. This has all been burned off, obviously. And there's no way you can fight fire here. You don't want to send crews down on this road when that fire comes raging up from the canyon below. I'm running the air conditioner also, by the way. So the engine's staying cool going through this, climbing this, even with the air conditioner on. You know, there's no way a camera is going to capture how big it is out there. Let's just turn it. It's so big. And we've been driving it. So there's houses way up there on the ridge. But as I recall, the route I took out of Kings Canyon once had houses along the way. And maybe we're coming up into that terrain, or maybe they all burned down. So over here below us, let's turn this to you guys a bit. That looks kind of cool down there, sort of meadows. Trees didn't burn. I don't see any cabins. Finally getting out of the burned area. We're up at 4,100, almost 4,200 feet elevation. There was a burned cabin there. Well, we're not totally out of the burned area, but the road's better for reasons I have no clue, because it doesn't really go anywhere other than where we've been. Okay, this is it. And these are the first moving cars I've seen pretty much all day. And I haven't even figured out what I want to do next. Except not getting run over. So let's just go cross over like this. And then kind of figure it out. As far as I'm concerned, that's the end of leg 2 that is, of this journey. And I have no idea what's going to happen next.